Differentiated instruction in small groups made easy. Hi everybody, my name is Marcia, and what we're going to do is we're going to walk through how to quickly differentiate small group instruction by changing one word. That's right, we're going to be changing the verb. What I'm going to do with you today is I'm going to walk you through step by step how to plan a lesson by focusing in on differentiated instruction for all students inside that small group. We are going to showcase AI, but the reality is if you have a game plan of what you want to teach inside that small group, all you need to do is change the verb for a differentiated outcome. You ready? Let's get started. Okay, so on the screen, I have a quick definition of small group instruction. Yes, we could differentiate in whole group, but man, it is so much easier to differentiate inside of a small group where students come back to the teacher. We meet with all students during that lesson, and we're teaching, reteaching, or enhancing what we are currently teaching in class. So just to give you that quick definition of what we mean by small group. Now, this template that I have on the screen is something I give to my team of teachers when they're working with me as an instructional coach. We go through this. Now, you do not have to use this template, but I'm telling you, we have seen huge growth in a student achievement growth in 1 year by just being purposeful and differentiating that small group. So let's dive deeper into this and see what you think. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in and focus in on the standard. Yes, I have my teachers either copy the standard or write the whole standard out because it's going to help us if we choose to use AI, and it also helps us to make sure we're staying focused on that task. So let's go in and we're going to put in our standard. The next thing is, what data point are we going to use? We're differentiating. Therefore, we need to know what data point we're going to use. And I'm going to use a formative assessment, maybe like an exit ticket. So before I deploy this lesson, I have to use some type of data from a formative assessment to group my students. And then, of course, I put what date I'm going to do it on. So I might do my exit ticket on September 3rd if I'm going to deploy differentiated small groups on September 4th. Okay, next, we do the outcome. What will the students be able to do when they leave your small group? Now, it seems like a lot of work, but this is just preparing yourself to be ready to deploy those small groups and being meaningful when they come back to your group table. Next, what we do is we take the data from that formative assessment, like an exit ticket, and we put our students into groups. Who are scoring below 50% and who got them all right. And we put them all into these different group categories. I use this color system just because it models and mimics a lot of the online data assessments that we're seeing in different schools. So if you're using map assessment, these colors should look very similar. So I have my students' names in. And here's something. This is the biggest and hardest thing for teachers to do because they're like, I have to write the students' names in. I'm like, yes, you need to know who you're going to call back to your small group. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do a focus verb. I have my team of teachers print out my Bloom's taxonomy verbs that match those same colors. You see the red, yellow, green, and blue. So we're going to pick one verb from each of these. You can find this on our website and you can go ahead and download this copy. It's very handy. Or just Google search Bloom's verbs. And here are the verbs that I chose. So we're going to compare, modify, defend, and design. Now, I can stop right there. I'm going to take my lesson that I already prepared of what I'm going to teach inside of my small group, and I'm just going to change the verb. When that red group comes back, they're going to compare. When the high group comes back, they're going to design. And yes, I'm going to repeat this again. When I'm doing learning studios, I meet with all students. That way, I'm guaranteeing that everybody is moving towards higher growth and achievement. All right? So let's take a look at some sample lesson ideas. So what I did was I went in and I used my verbs, and now I have my compare, where they're going to compare it to another story. They're going to modify the story. They're going to defend, and some of them are going to design. You could stop right there, and that is fantastic because now we have that lesson plan. We have our groups and we're changing the verb. But I always like to kick it up a notch because why not? What I like to do is how much time am I going to spend with each group? So my high group, that blue group we were talking about, they're going to be with me for 8 minutes, where my struggling students are going to be there for about 15 minutes. I also do one more thing. How much time am I going to spend talking? So when my struggling students come back, I'm going to be about a little bit more than half the time. I'm going to be explaining and we're going to compare and we're going to walk it through. I'm going to break it down for them. But my high flyers, I'm going to spend 2 minutes talking. Hey guys, we just got done reading this story. I want you to design a storyboard that would go with it. Let's talk through it. That's it. Then let them talk and talk about what's happening, making sure they're always going back to that standard that you're teaching. There's our lesson plan. Differentiated, encouraging student discourse, and making sure that all students have the opportunity to meet with you in a lesson. Now, I do use AI, and I have some really good AI tools that go along with this that you can see. So if you're watching this video, go to the bottom. There's going to be a link there. It's going to take you to differentiated AI prompts that use Bloom's taxonomy verbs. So you don't have to do the hard work. I already did that for you. All right. My goal for you is to really think about using this game plan for your small groups where you focus in on doing a different verb using the Bloom's taxonomy verbs. It's going to make a big difference. Good luck, and if you need any help, you know where you can find me.